Hi, Professor. This is Weiqi. This is my final exam for IT 533. First of all, my code was signed by the Blackboard. It's a student performance. So this is my code. You can see here. Then the first question, is there any class attributes in my dataset? Yes, it is. After I run the student and the structure, we can see here is a character. So it's a class attributes. There are activities, there are job, and there are address and school and sex. So there are class attributes in my dataset. My question 2, assign the age into the two groups of the younger than 17 and older than 17, and run the different group to get the group which is related to the study time and the travel time. So here is the output of my table for the student younger than 17, older than 17, and their travel time. Here is the observation is here. For the mode of both younger than 17 and older than 17 is a one-time travel, and compared with it, the study time is the mode is 2. So it shows both of two groups have the same mode in the same like study time and travel time. However, compared with younger than 17 and older than 17, it shows like younger than 17 has a less standard for the travel time for the students. They have a less standard deviation compared with the study time. So it means like travel time is pretty stable and the study time is more fluctuate. The third question is my correlation between the travel age group and the G3 score. So first of all, I will show you the score for the correlation with my travel time and the G3 score. It's a negative 0.1271, so that negative related. And then they have a positive relationship between study time and the G3 score, which makes sense because if you spend more time to study, and then you will have a higher G3 score. I notice both of those absolutely value is slightly small. So especially the study time and the G3 score, they are not seems like highly correlated. I guess probably because like there are some like times like probably related to their quality of the work, like when you spend time to study, but you are harder to focus. So it may have a less expected performance than we think. So I guess this is probably one reason I got a smaller correlation score. But the first classifier method I use is the first classifier method I use a neural network. So here is my result of the neural network for my. Here's the result of my neural network. So when the value was random assigned and I use attributes age, travel time, study time, and failure, there are 69% chance students won't get a school soup. I think because of like based on the history data, it means like when there are more unstable for the travel time and the study time, and also if the people tend to failure, so they tend to have a school soup from their college or university. And from the result we can tell it's pretty accurate because the accuracy of the model is 91.98% accurate. So seems like people or students tend to not to get a school soup. The second another classifier method I use is nearest neighbor. So I use a classifier 1 and 5. So the attributes I use is a G-score and the gender. So for the result, we can see the proportion of the correct classification is a for the key equals to 1 is 51, and then key equals 5 is 54. So there are not too much difference for like between 1 and 5. I also did a cross validation. So the proportion is related, is like you can see the number are really close. Therefore, for the education purpose, I've based on the data, we can say the gender is less related to the score, because it makes sense if like it more related to with like how much time, how much effort you put, or how much time you spend. So the score were more correlated or likelihood to with the higher score if you spend more time. The clusters make sense for us. For example, this is a picture of DBS scan. For example, let's find a class. Okay, for example, the study time and the failures. If you spend more time to study, it seems like less likely to fail. So we can see they have the negative relationship. For another example, such as here is a like age and travel time. Like as the age is increasing, so the travel time must be between less. Because I think it could be I'll move it more here like this one. I think it could be because like more age, people are more mature, so they will be more like waiting to study, and they love to spend more time to study instead of instead of spend time instead for the time of travel or doing some other things. So we can see at age increase and travel time is decreasing. Based on my analysis, I feel the decision could be made for the education department. Probably they can like focus more on the age group, because we can see as the age grow older, people are tend to willing to spend more time to study and more easier to succeed for their college or other education. So I think the education department should make some kind of rewards for the younger age of the group, because that will be motivated for them to spend more time to study. Also, the education department can focus on their high quality and high productive work. I think older people will be more tended to easier focus, and the younger children are easy to get attracted by other things. So maybe provide them a very good study environment, like there is no such other things could be attract their attention. Also, I think that is another way will be help them to improve their performance. For example, if my attributes have like the library, like whether the college have a good library or not, a quiet library or not, maybe will help the analysis to be more accurate. Yeah, this is my analysis. So and thank you, Professor, for all of your help this semester. I know bother you a lot, but I really appreciate all of your help and I really wish you have a wonderful summer break. Thank you.